The purpose of this video cast is to show you some tools and techniques you can use in helping to make your documents have more of a professional polish, and also to save you time using efficiency techniques and applying styles using headers and footers, and finally that all important using proper referencing or giving proper attribution to the sources that you use in your assignments and assessments. This is especially important for those of you doing NCEA or IGCSE, where proper referencing is required. Now, first of all, when you are turning in an assignment or an assessment, you should use the header feature of Microsoft Word to insert your name, possibly your class and the assignment, whatever your teacher requires, and have that appear on every page automatically. So double clicking in the top of your document will bring up your header section, and generally you put in your information aligned to the right, so use the right alignment button and put in your name and the other items that your teacher requires, for example your class and the name of the assignment. If this is for an internal or external assessment for NCEA, you would also be required to put in your NSN number. Usually, if it's an external, that will be in the place of your name. You can also add things. For example, if you wanted to have an underline, you can use the borders tool, and that would put in a border, and that will appear on every page, and you won't have to handwrite that in, and you won't forget to put your name on certain pages, which is also helpful when you're sending it to the printer. Similarly, you should put a footer with page numbers at the bottom instead of handwriting or manually typing numbers at the bottom of each page. You should use the automatic page numbering. So if you double click in the bottom, go to the header and footer tab, and then click on the insert page number button, this will automatically insert a field. Now, if you click on it, you see that it's gray. It's not actually the number 1, it just is a field that says find that page number. And you can add formatting as you like. So you could center justify that. For example, you could put the word page and a dash in front of that, and then it will go page 1, page 2, page 3, etc. If you wanted to have a top border for your footer, you can use the borders tool. That's much more efficient and ensures that you have your page numbering correct, and you don't have to update it because Word will update it automatically. If you're at the senior level, you can also create an automatic table of contents, and it will look at your page numbering. The other thing you should be looking at using are built-in styles within Word. Again, this helps show that you have a logical hierarchy of headings and a logical organization in your report, and it saves you time because you can just use a style and it will be consistent throughout your report, and you can update it quite quickly. So for example, my robots in society, that is going to be a main heading, so I will use the built-in heading 1 style. Medical robots and worker robots are subtopics under robots in society, so I'll use a heading 2 style. If I change styles using the quick styles, so for example, if I wanted to change that to newsprint, it would update everything to the exact same style throughout, and I don't have to find all of my headings and update them manually. So I'll go back to modern and use that for the styles in this document. Finally, the most important part is how do we properly reference and keep track of our references? For IGCSE, for NCEA, and for future and university, you should be using proper referencing style, and that shows that you're giving attribution to your sources and that you are not plagiarizing. I have some websites open, and for the introduction, I would like to use this quote: driverless cars, robot ships, etc. So I can copy and paste that. And another thing that you should get in the habit of doing is when you paste things from an internet source, instead of just using the plain paste or Control V, you should select Paste Special and say Unformatted Text. And that way it will just bring over the text. It won't bring over any background colors or odd formatting that don't fit within your document, and then you can format it to fit. Now straight away, I know that I have a direct quote here. I need to give attribution to that. Because it is a direct quote, I'll put speech marks around that. I can use my built-in style to show that it's a quote. And then I will add that source right straight away into Word using the automatic citations feature of Word. So I next go into my Document Elements tab, and there's a section called References. The style that is used most commonly through NCA and IGCSE is APA, but there are other styles you can choose from. If you click on the Manage button, and you notice we have no citations in our list because we don't have any sources in this document, so we'll add a style with the plus sign, or I'm sorry, add a citation. And you now just fill in the fields accordingly. If you notice, it says type of source right here. I have website, but if you have information from a book or an article in a journal or a sound recording or a film, you just select the right template and then fill in the required information, and all of the required information is marked with an asterisk. So for this, it's for a website, and it says I need to fill in an author. So I will check my website and see if there's an author for this article, which there is, Gavin Kelly, and I can fill that in. If there isn't an author, you can have unknown, or sometimes there isn't a specific author, but the author is an organization such as the National Science Foundation, and then you can just tick that box. The name of the web page is the actual title of the page. So this one is The Robots Are Coming. Will they bring wealth or a divided society? The name of the actual website is The Guardian. The URL, that means the web address. So I can copy and paste the exact web address. And then I need to see if there is a date that this article on the web was produced. Generally it's at the top, or sometimes you have to scroll all the way down into the bottom section and look for a copyright date. If a website doesn't have any date on it or an author, I would read it carefully, because it may not be something that you want to use for an assessment or an assignment, because it may not be from a reliable source. So we know this one was from quite current, Saturday, the 4th of January, 2014. And then it's also important on a website that you put when you accessed that information, because websites change quite often. So this is 2014, the month accessed, March, and the day accessed, the 6th. And it's as simple as that. I click OK. And then if you noticed, it put in, this is the parenthetical reference, that's what this is called. It's saying this information is from Kelly from the year 2014. And later on, we can use that to in our bibliography. I'll do one more example of another quote and then show you how to make the bibliography. So medical robots. If I wanted to use a quote about medical robots, copy, paste. If you notice, I didn't do the paste special, and I have their formatting, which I don't want, so I'll undo and use the paste special, unformatted text. Again, this is a direct quote, so I'll put speech marks around that. And use the built-in style for a quotation. And then I'll add that to my citations list. So the plus sign for this particular article, the author is right here, Haley Siegel or Segal. And the name of the web page is Microrobotics in Medicine. So I can copy that. The name of this website is RoboHub. The URL of the web page, or the web address, and then I can also look to see if there's a date, which is the 7th of January 2014. And again, I've accessed it today. Oh, sorry. Fix that. And click OK, and it puts in that reference. So I would always straight away put in your references as soon as you find some information. You may go back and reword it, put it in your own words, refer to it, but you still need that reference, and then you haven't lost your web pages. Of course, you wouldn't have a report that was just full of straight quotations. You would have things that you also have put into your own words, but you have that information straight away. Okay. Now, the next thing we need to do is put in a bibliography. So we're finished with our report, let's pretend, and I am going to insert a new page to go to the bottom. Oops, I put that in the wrong spot. Notice that it automatically put in my header, and then under the document elements, I just click on the bibliography button, click on bibliography, and it makes it in perfect APA style for me. It also puts it in alphabetical order by the author, which is what is required. If I then later add any more, I can click into my bibliography, and there's a little blue drop down, and I can say update citations and bibliography, and it will add, and it will automatically update my bibliography. You'll also notice now it's automatically added page 2. So that's just a short overview about using the built-in tools in Word to make your documents more efficient and professional, and also to have proper citations.